Welcome back to UCL Review, ladies and gentlemen. This time it's on Football Daily.
Yes.
Normally it's on Eurofootball Daily. So if you want to see Tuesday's game, head over to Eurofootball Daily for more. However, Mikey,
Yes.
we are talking about Wednesdays. And the first game is none other than Genk 1, Liverpool 4.
Nice, very well
Pronounced.
read out there.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're like
Thank
the
you.
guy who used to be on the final score or whatever it was. Anyway, Liverpool won and scored for the second successive Champions League game, defeating Genk 4-1 in Belgium. It was a night typified by two fantastic goals by Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, especially that second.
Oh,
lovely.
Even the first was a wicked strike.
Yeah, it was very
Fair
clean,
play.
wasn't it? And it was actually his first UCL appearance since April 2018, when he picked up that knee injury against Roma in the semi-final, which kept him
that's
out for
nice.
this time. So, you know, it couldn't have gone better for the Englishman. Unfortunately, the victory was also marred by a disgraceful racist banner that was unfurled by a section of the Liverpool travelling support before the game. Not great. But this was the Reds' first away victory in a Champions League group game since October 2017. However, the win looked far from secure in the first half.
Say the least.
Yeah, despite going up in the second minute, Liverpool weren't at their very best and only went in ahead after a goal from Genk's Mbwana Samatta was ruled out by VAR for offside. Interestingly, this was also Genk's first home defeat in the Champions League since 2002. When they lost to Roma. I mean, the caveat to that is that I think they've not really been in it. I think they had one campaign in 2011-12 where they drew all their home games. So, not amazing, but still, it's, trivia. Nevertheless, Liverpool were much better in the second half. By the end of the game, they'd racked up 17 shots to Genk's 8 and averaged 74% possession. A very dominant performance from Klopp's side. However, they did only put 41% of their efforts on target, so probably could have been better in front of goal. And the XG read 2 to 1.3 in Liverpool's favour. So this suggests it wasn't actually the walkover that the result would have you believe. Also, this would have something to do with the fact that both Ox's goals were outside the box, very low, low quality chances, I guess, but obviously high quality finishes. 4 of his 7 Liverpool goals have come from outside the area as well. So the Ox is a bit of a specialist from range, isn't he?
Indeed, he's ridiculous from outside the box. I remember the one against Man City in the game when he also got injured as well. But he loves those chances and is thriving in midfield. I wonder what Arsenal would do to have a player like him back in their squad. Anyway,
Probably
another player. Yeah, indeed. Another player who had a brilliant night was none other than Naby Keita. He controlled the game with 138 touches, by far the most on the field, and also completed 110 passes. Again,
massive.
The most on the pitch, with a 93% pass accuracy, so he had a worldie of a game. He also completed 3 of 4 dribbles and made 4 tackles and interceptions with a 100% tackle success. So we're seeing more of him like we did back at RB, which made us rate him so well. Another player who had a great game was Roberto Firmino. He's now racked up more UCL assists with 11 than anyone else since the start of 2017-18. He is making the competition his own. They got to the final that year, they got to the final last year, they won it. Who knows what's going to happen this year? Mohamed Salah also had an excellent game. 1 goal, 1 assist, 3 shots, 2 dribbles, 1 key pass. I always feel, even when Mohamed Salah has a bad game, he always does something well. He's always whacking out 2 or 3 key passes. He's grabbed an assist, but he's not necessarily played really well.
He's so productive. I think that's maybe what sets him apart, for me at least, from Mane and Firmino. Mane also last night had a really, really good game. Looked so good on the ball. He's just excellent, isn't he? But Salah just has that slight increased productivity. Obviously he just scores those few more goals. He gets quite a few assists as well. He's just that and the way that he took that goal last night was just
beautiful.
Oh, world class.
Indeed. Indeed. Yeah. Yes, the result now leaves Liverpool with 6 points from their first 3 group games, but they sit in second following Napoli's dramatic victory over Salzburg. That was a fantastic game. Klopp's side have now won 25 of their last 30 games in all competitions, including 7 in the Champions League, and 7 quite tough fixtures as well, including the final. They can now focus their attention on Spurs at the weekend as they look to continue their unbeaten start to the Premier League. Fingers crossed, Pochettino pulls one out here. Meanwhile, Genk now faced an uphill struggle to not finish bottom with just 1 point and a goal difference of -7. But
They're out, aren't they? Yeah.
we want to know, should you be counting Liverpool as favourites this year in the Champions League? Vote in the poll above and let us know.
We move on to our second game from the evening, and it's Chelsea's 1-0 win over Ajax. We actually covered this last night on the live stream over on EFD. So here's a few highlights, including Obaseki.
Out to him! But did they give out loads of... Oh! He's off. He's got to be off.
But we are having a VAR check. VAR.
Go! Offside! Yes!
Offside.
Come on, I told you.
Wow.
I told you. That was off.
I'll be
Come on. Hey,
surprised.
relax now, boys. Shoot!
Arsenal must be miles behind.
Oh,
Like,
come on! Oh! That's right.
Wow.
Oh, my days. You better hope that the flag goes up, bro. You better hope that the flag goes up.
Oh, Alba talk us through it.
Oh, I don't even want to, bro. I don't even want to.
Oh,
Oh, my days.
that was good. Best of two. Oh, here we go. Come on.
Oh! Come on!
What a goal!
Come on!
That's the
You
moment.
needed that!
Oh,
You
that makes
needed
up.
that!
Redemption
Come on.
for the big man.
I needed that! Oh!
This is massive.
Yes!
That's mad.
Mitchie!
Oh, huge, because he missed that big
Mitchie.
shot earlier.
Some great reactions there, and if you guys never want to miss a total live stream again, all you have to do is go over to Eurofootball Daily, subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so you're notified every time we go live. However, look, it may not have been the highest scoring game, but it was a decent watch.
was, yeah.
And Chelsea now sit top of Group H down to head-to-head after beating Ajax 1-0 away from home. The Johan Cruyff Arena has become a great place for the Blues. Their previous venture there saw them lift the Europa League back in 2013 after beating Benfica. However, the result still comes as a shock. The win dealt Ajax their first Champions League group stage defeat at home in 5 years. For the
Jesus
first time
Christ.
in 5
Wow.
years. So a very, very good result for Chelsea. Only 4 of Frank Lampard's starting 11 went into the match with more than 10 career Champions League appearances to their name. But ultimately, it was last season's semi-finalists who were made to look the naive side. A great bit of writing there from
just
myself.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Ajax, though, did just edge possession with 52%. However, Chelsea took 16 shots to Ajax's 10, with 4 on target to Ajax's 2. But according to XG, Chelsea came out as deserved victors, with 0.45 to 1.72 in the Blues' favour. And it was nail-biting stuff up until the 86th minute when Michy Batshuayi netted the winner for Chelsea. Since the start of 2016-17, Michy Batshuayi has scored 9 goals as a sub for Chelsea, 4 more than any other Blues player. So he is a super sub.
He absolutely
at the
loves
moment.
it, doesn't he?
He does, he does.
He's,
And
he never gets his chance, but
I've
off
also-
the bench, he's always lethal.
I've also read interviews with him as well saying that actually, like, of course they don't accept being a sub and they are thriving to be strikers, but it's also not like there's bad blood between him and Tammy. But I think if you see after when the full-time whistle goes, Tammy was the first player to go to him and like hug him and say like, well done.
Was that before Jorginho grabbed him?
I think it might have been after
was pretty nuts.
during celebrations, which a bit nuts. But he also has become a bit of a leader now on the pitch. In general, I think Chelsea's kind of display was really interesting. I thought there was for a set of very young players, they performed very, very well. And they were also kind of doing a bit of the dark arts cleverly. Tomori was doing a few of the little kick the ball away.
I thought Tomori was excellent.
Tomori, I thought at the first half maybe had a couple of shoddy moments, but he's really come into his own this season. And it's been fantastic to see. There was also Callum Hudson-Odoi walking off very slowly. So they may be young, but they know what they're doing.
Sure. Well, they've got a man in Frank Lampard who knows all about this competition.
Exactly.
Been involved in many unsporting games, mainly against Barcelona, where
And hopefully
neither team covered themselves in glory in any of those clashes back in the day.
Indeed.
But back to the game though, because obviously Batshuayi wasn't the only super sub on the night. Christian Pulisic, who came on for Hudson-Odoi, fantastic. Really, really good. Obaseki, actually on the stream, was calling out for him in the 65th minute. And you know what? Lampard answered his prayers and brought him on in the exact same minute. So, you know, maybe put it down to Samuel Wasecki behind the camera. But he conjured as many key passes as Hudson-Odoi in 24 minutes on the pitch. He actually created 3 chances in 24 minutes on the pitch, as Hudson-Odoi managed in the previous 65. Speaking of Hudson-Odoi, only 18 years old and 350 days. That makes him the youngest player to start a Champions League match for the Blues since Josh McEachran in December 2010. And where's he now?
I actually think he doesn't have a club.
Okay.
So fingers crossed, Hudson-Odoi's career doesn't go like that.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have the best game, did he, Hudson-Odoi? Let's face it. But, you know, still so young.
Yeah, he's 18.
Great experience for him.
He's not necessarily played in the Champions League before, and also he's just come back from injury.
Yeah.
You can't really expect the world
And
of
also
someone,
considering that his decision making wasn't the best at times, 3 chances created is still
pretty good.
Yeah, still good against Ajax, as we have said. As for Ajax, they've lost a game in all competitions. This is their first loss in all competitions in 20 matches since losing to Tottenham Hotspur in the Champions League semi-final last season. They've won 15 and drawn 4 since then, which obviously Eredivisie, not as good a league, but still pretty impressive for Lampard's side to end that run. Also, this comes after 4 consecutive clean sheets. In European competition, that's 446 minutes of play. And also, the Chelsea defence, you know, Tomori included, managed to silence Dusan Tadic. He had only 20 touches of the ball in the first half, and also failed to fire a shot on target, or register a touch in Chelsea's box. So, yeah, a real fortress at the back there. And also, Lampard upstaged Ten Hag in terms of youth. Obviously, we've already talked about Callum Hudson-Odoi, but for Ajax, only 1 player under the age of 21 in Dest played the game. As players, Chelsea had 2 players under 21, obviously Mount and Hudson-Odoi. And the average age of the Ajax starting lineup was older, 25 years and 121 days, than Chelsea's 25 years and 71 days.
Just a few days.
Feel like you're clutching at straws here a bit.
Still,
Zach did
doesn't
write
matter.
this bit.
It doesn't matter.
You can tell a Chelsea fan wrote this section.
Just a few days.
But I mean, it still goes to show that you know, Chelsea are a very youthful side this year. Obviously, comparing them to Ajax, who, you know, made the semi-finals of the Champions League last year with a very young side. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of reasons to be positive if you're a Chelsea fan for, you know, Champions League hopes. What do you reckon, Zach? Like, do you think a result like this is a statement?
Oh yeah, a result like I honestly thought we'd go there and maybe get a draw. Yeah. I thought getting a win there was going to be a very tough ask, and it was a very tough ask. And the fact that we're top of the group, we're going to play Ajax again, obviously, in 2 weeks' time at Stamford Bridge. If we can win that game as well, which I do think we will, we're gonna top the group, and I reckon we're gonna go all the way to the semis.
Oh, big call there. But what do you make of Zach's claim? Let us know in the comments below, and let's move on to the final game.
We move into our final one now, and it is Borussia Dortmund versus Inter Milan. What was the result, Mikey?
It was 2-0 to Inter Milan. They put in a commanding performance to beat the German opposition. First victory in the competition this season. That does move them second in Group F behind Barcelona. It really is the group of death, isn't it?
It really is.
Group F. And it was kicked off by Lautaro Martinez's sharply taken goal and finished off by Candreva's lovely finish on the counter-attack. It was enough to give the Nerazzurri their first victory over German opposition since March 2011, when they beat Bayern Munich away 3-2. Don't know if anyone remembers that. But
2011, how old was I then? Young.
Yeah, that's an age. But it could have actually been even worse for Dortmund. Martinez missed a second half penalty. I mean, it was saved. And he became the first Inter player to do so since Adriano against Ajax back in March 2006. Bit of trivia for you there.
Even younger.
Yeah. But the 22-year-old Argentinian did have a very good game all in all. Obviously got that goal in the first half, also put up 2 tackles, 1 aerial duel, 2 dribbles and 4 shots. He's
really
now
coming
scored.
into his own.
He really is. He's now scored in 4 straight matches in all competitions. He scored 5 goals in that time, and that's as many as he scored in his previous 26 games for Inter. So thriving under Conte, thriving with Lukaku next to him. He's finally kind of living up to the hype that was surrounding him when he first moved to the San Siro, and it's great to see. No need for Icardi now. It seems like, you know, the new manager and players like Martinez have kind of bridged that gap that was missing before. The result continues the Inter manager's fantastic record. He's never lost a Champions League group match. Never lost a Champions League group match. He's won 5 and drawn 6 of his 11 games in charge of Juve, Chelsea and Inter. And I'm not quite sure how that stat works because I feel like that doesn't make sense in my head. But
it's always his issues are always afterwards.
Yeah.
His issues have always been, okay, I can't get past around 16.
Yeah, it's true actually. Yeah, not so consistent on
Indeed.
that front. But what did you make of the night for Borussia Dortmund, Zach?
Well, yeah, it wasn't a good night for Lucien Favre's men, who can't really have any complaints about the results. They did have 58% possession, but they only had 5 shots with 2 on target compared to Inter's 8 and 4 on target. And it was a performance littered with mistakes. Nico Schultz played Martinez onside for the first goal, and Hummels brought down Esposito for a penalty, and their attackers were underwhelming. Thorgan Hazard's 84 minutes on the pitch led to 1 tackle, 0 dribbles, 1 key pass, and 0 shots. Not a good night for him. Julian Brandt started up front because Paco and Royce are injured. He won 0 aerial duels, made 0 dribbles, completed 1 key pass, and had 1 shot, which, to be fair, was well saved by Handanovic.
Yeah, it's difficult for him as well. That's not his natural position at all.
Yeah, exactly. He's gone from playing centre mid at Leverkusen to putting attacking mid and now striker.
Yeah.
So it's been a bit unfortunate for him, as he said. Sancho, who became just the 4th Englishman to appear in 10 Champions League games as a teenager after Walcott, TAA and Wilshere, was probably their best player, completing 2 dribbles, made 1 key pass and had 2 shots. Let's hope his career doesn't finish like Walcott's and Wilshere's.
They're not done yet.
Yeah. For Inter, though, their impressive run continues. They've lost just twice this season in 11 games to Juve and Barcelona with 8 victories. So it's a very good win here. Their key performance, Barella, was awesome on the night. He got 88% pass accuracy, made 10 tackles and interceptions.
Lovely stuff.
Which is ridiculous. And 1 dribble and 1 key pass. However, man of the match, as always, was 26-year-old Marcelo Brozovic. He made 6 tackles and interceptions, another very high figure, completed 1 dribble, made 3 key passes, and got an assist for Candreva. That group is going to be an interesting one on who gets out of it. For me, it'll probably be Barca and Inter.
That's what it looks like at the moment, doesn't it? But I guess Inter now have to go away to Borussia as well, so I think that could potentially be the key game in this group. I feel like Barcelona probably will have done enough having beaten Inter, but I don't know, it's a difficult one because they've still got to go away to them as well.
Indeed.
And obviously they didn't look great against Slavia last night. Go and watch the highlights of that if you haven't already, because Slavia put a very good game up against them, but obviously unfortunately lost due to that deflected winner from Suarez, or actually an own goal. But I digress.
I was going to say some other worthy mentions. That was
Sabitzer's goal.
He's a worldie.
That's
better than Pavard's in the World Cup. It's better than Pavard's in the World Cup.
I don't know.
On the volley.
I don't know.
Like that volley as well.
Pavard's was coming at him quicker. But
I guess so. But the
it was lovely,
curvature, like the ball, it looks like it's going out. Then just suddenly goes in.
Oh yeah,
it's
the technique was so good. It was so well planned. To be fair, for sure. His technique was maybe better.
They deserved the win, and also Haaland and the other striker I'm forgetting were ridiculous.
Yeah.
And also Benfica 2, Lyon 1.
That wasn't great. Yeah, Lopez, the Lyon keeper, had an absolute mare.
Yes, so make sure you check them out. That's us done, Mikey.
Yes.
We are done. If you guys have enjoyed this, please check out Squad Goals, where we try to show how good we are at football by playing FIFA.
Blindfolded, right?
Blindfolded, yes. That will be coming out on Friday, though, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Subscribe to the channel. If you want to find out about Tuesday's games, head over to Eurofootball Daily, like we said earlier. And that's it, Mikey. Say goodbye to the lovely people.
Au revoir.